how'd you get a collaboration with Cornell? I called them. And you know what I did? They said, Corey, tell us about you. I was a crook. Ain't no sugarcoat nothing who I was, but I'll tell you who I am today as well. I'm a person who making a difference. I'm a person who enjoy being there for others. I'm a person who has value, who I get at least 2 to 3 calls a day of someone saying, man, you make us all feel like we can do it. To know somebody who is really in the streets like us and worse than us and be doing what you're doing, I'm like, I could dig it. It's a good feeling, you know? So every step of the way has been another piece of armor on me as I continue. You know, and as you said, I like the hunter word because you have to stay hunting. You know, you need to put that armor on you to protect yourself, you know, especially as a Black man. I'm proud to be a Black man. You know, it means the world to me. I'm proud of my last name, you know. You Google my last name, it's going to say Caretakers for Mother Mary. You know, I am my family, my kids, my fiance, the people at the addiction clinic, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Trust the process. Do the work. Stay disciplined. And love the people. All sisters and brothers.
Shit, I'm about to go wait in this place when you dropping the bass in. The beat is at the streets of awaken. I'm making to break my foot off of somebody's ass. I'm waiting for someone to say my name so I can annihilate them. Okay, then everyone was screaming the rape when I was kicking at the gate till it caved in, barely scraping by. But now I'm paid. Look at the paper I raked and I'm caking like Jay-Z and Drake. And I hate when people say that I ain't killing shit. The game is my playpen. I punch you in the face and end up breaking your break bands. I'm far from Hollywood. I'm posted up at the days in. Even though the industry say I'm the latest sensation. Drop the song at the board show. They're coming complacent. Mama saw me on TV with just a bum in the basement. You a Captain Saber, who you just tucking the cake in.
What's up, everybody? You Control You podcast. You already know how we do. Another beautiful day. We always start out with what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for life, God, family, same things. This weekend, especially with Mother's Day, made me, as I get older, I'm about to turn 45, I'm realizing how grateful I am that my mom is still here. I have friends that their mom isn't here anymore. And so, you know, growing up, basically, my mom was my only parent really around. So having my mom still be here is such a blessing. And then seeing how my kids interact with their mother and their mothers, that's always good. I love that as well. So grateful to the moms out there. Keep doing you. And yeah, I'm here with Corey. What are you grateful for?
Oh, man, it's a long list. You know? First, I'm going to give a happy belated Mother's Day to everybody, all the wonderful mothers out there doing best they can do, which is typically an amazing job.
Yeah.
I suppose I would say I'm grateful for everything, you know, especially my kids. That made my heart tender. I would say all my trials and tribulations, prison, I'm grateful for it. You know, it made me and educated me. It was my university. You know, all the people that came in my life and out of my life, you know, I'm just grateful to be here. I'm a person who probably should have been in the dirt, but I'm here talking to you. You know, that's a blessing. God has kept me protected for this path I've been walking.
Oh, man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Kids, it's amazing. Right when you said that, my daughter did the same thing to me when I was 24. My daughter being born, it was just like, oh, I can't be that guy. I got to be different. So it's amazing how kids will tenderize you quick, man. It's amazing. All of a sudden, it's like, wait a minute, I'm looking at life differently. Yeah. This is crazy. Yeah. How old are your kids?
Oh, man. So I have a 20-year-old. I have a 19-year-old. And I have a 7-year-old. And I have a 14-year-old. And I have a lot more kids, but not my kids.
Yeah,
my
that's
little
how that goes.
cousins
Yeah,
and my niece and nephews. And I'm a person who I grew up. My father passed at an early age. I think I was 11. My mom passed when I was 16. So for me, I enjoy being there for other people. It's something that weighs heavy on me. So I love helping them out. My nephew right now is having some issues, and his mother called on me, and it feels good to just step into his life and get him in order, you know.
Yeah.
So I got him Uber, pick him up from home in the morning, get him to school on time. I'm a guardian at the school now. Uber, pick him up from school and bring him to work. I have him working at my Juicy Organics at my health bar. And he loved it. You know, you should have seen the proudness on his face when he served his first customer. He's like, I served my first customer and I made the drink.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you know, I said, how'd that feel? He said, it felt good. I said, yeah, that felt a lot better than running from the police. Right.
Facts.
So, yeah, it feels good to be something for other people.
It's something that we talk about on here all the time. It's something that I hear a lot of people talk about out in the world, is always being in service. Find something that you truly love to do and do that in service of others. And that is that will fulfill you in ways that nothing else possibly can. And it sounds like that's exactly what your nephew discovered right there.
Yeah.
Like, do something that you actually enjoy doing in service of others, and like from top to bottom. And it's like, that's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So I was going to wait to jump into the that business, but since we're already here, can you tell us about this business, the juicing business?
Oh, the juicing business. So we had that business for quite a while, some time now. We didn't have a physical space. So we did the CrossFit games every year, which was pretty amazing, you know. And then when they stopped doing them here in Dane County due to us not having an international airport, we decided to actually do a space for it. And we got that space on the Capitol at 5 North Pinckney. And in that space, we have over 100 different teas. We have smoothies, which is our original deal. I had some Israelites come down from Chicago and teach me the juicing game, since they're the original juicers of the world. And then I added my twist and my own thing, you know, and turned out pretty good, I must say. So we got smoothies, we got vegan pizzas, gluten-free pizzas. We have power bowls, potato-based, rice-based, spinach-based. We have everything from ashwagandha to, all type of herbs and leaves and teas and you name it. I'm still learning stuff as I go, you know, because it's a lot to it. So yeah, we wanted to create something that was healthy for the people. You know, everything I'm doing now at this stage of my life is creating healthy situations for the people, you know. So we wanted to stick to that. It's been going pretty well. It's a really beautiful space, intimate space where adults can go and enjoy themselves with their partners or friends and things like that. But it's also a very healthy space, and we deliver, and you know, it's good stuff.
Man, that's incredible. Throughout my life, I've heard about people juicing or doing it themselves or something, but I don't think it hit me until the locks came out. When, like, I heard about people doing it, and I'm like, okay, it sounds cool. It's like some soccer mom is like, oh, I'm making my own little juice. I'm doing this. And as a fighter, you know, smoothies were a quick way to get protein. So you make a smoothie or whatever, but I didn't think about it any more than that. It's like, okay, I'm training for a fight. I need to make sure I'm hitting my protein numbers here. I'm doing this here. But then, Styles comes out. This is what we're doing. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's all. So now that's a whole different community now that you're touching. Like,
it is.
Wait, what?
It is.
Like, this is, if I got to be honest, like I said, soccer moms. Like, I'm used to white suburban moms talking about this. And so what What sort of drew you into that?
Well, I think everybody deserves to be healthy.
Yes,
first
sir.
of all, whether you're poor or wealthy. I think everybody deserves to have a nice space that is healthy. Because when I go to a lot of nice spaces, a lot of spaces that's healthy, the space itself is just, you know, a little basic, you know, because it is a hard business to succeed in because everyone is not used to eating healthy. McDonald's is a lot easier to get to.
Yeah.
You know, so I wanted to create a space that was beautiful and healthy and for people who are disciplined and want to live longer, deserve a space that's memorable.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How did you get into it? How did you already talked about being grateful, learning lessons, you maybe not being able to be here, like it's like, whoa, I'm kind of grateful just for being here. So what brought you into that? That seems like a complete different path.
You know, for me, my auntie, she raised me really healthy. We used to go to Asian herb doctors down on 47th, right off the expressway.
Okay.
And when I was a kid, and we always had all these different herbs and stuff in the refrigerator, all this different stuff and teapots that smell the whole house, you know, and I just wanted to bring that back, to relive the things that was installed in me at an early age in life, right? Which is being healthy, you know. And then I have so many friends at this age, you know, I'm 48 now. So a lot of my friends are going through health issues, almost kidney failure, lung issues, diabetes. I mean, you name it, they're going through it. But there's remedies for that besides a pill at the doctor, you know, and I just want to be able to educate people on how they can live a healthy lifestyle without a bunch of medication from the doctor.
Yeah.
You know, my aunt is a person who the doctor calls her for advice, you know, because a lot of these doctors just know what they were taught to know.
Yes, sir.
You know, and they know it's other ways. And so, yeah, I just think having those things installed in me in an early age just really helped me want more of that. And I'm a person who's a how can I say this? I am a meat eating recovering addict. Cause I love me some lamb chops, you know, I love me some chicken thighs, you know. But at the same time, I post these videos up of cows slaughtering humans and making meals out of humans. And how do we feel about that? You know, to do that to animals and treat them in such a way, I think in an unnecessary way, you know, we can live without that, you know, and I don't know. I'm trying. It's a process. So everybody out there who's trying to eat healthy, just, you know, one step at a time, you know, one day a week at a time. Next you don't even know it's 3 days a week, and then before you know it, you know, you're living a very healthy lifestyle, and it becomes a habit. So, yeah.
Man, I would love to get you in a room with who are they? The carnivore diets. So that would be an interesting conversation, because for me, I listen to both sides. Sometimes it reminds me of political debates, because everybody has great points, but it's like trying to figure it out for yourself. So you're no longer eating meat? None.
No, don't get me up in line now. I'm a quite honest person. I just enjoy a healthy lifestyle the best I can, but every now and then, yes, I will have. I don't know if I could live without lamb chops, you know, but it is weighing in on me. I am starting to see why I shouldn't be. And I'm educating myself as I go. But it's a process, you know. It's like telling someone, you know, stop smoking cigarettes, they're not good for you. And they're like, I need this cigarette for the
Yeah.
moment. You know, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. It's better this than doing something that would kill me instantly.
Yeah.
You know, so I get it, and I'm it's a work in progress.
No, I fully get that. I remember training for one fight. It had to be like 2014, 2015. And I was like, I wonder if I can eliminate meat.
Yeah.
Like, can we do this? And then I started, I think it was Cecil, who played for the Milwaukee Brewers, Cecil Fielder or his son. One of the Prince. It was Prince.
Yeah.
Prince.
Yeah.
He's a vegetarian or vegan or one, like something like that. I'm like, that dude's big.
Mm-hmm.
He must be figuring it out. Okay, so I tried it. And I just watched my energy level drop so low. It was almost, it was so hard to find the protein. I know more about protein now. I know like it's easier now to do something like that.
Yeah.
But it was like, I couldn't imagine. Yeah, it was hard to keep the energy levels up. So if somebody came in and said, okay, I want to change my lifestyle here. Mm-hmm. Because the one thing I will say, it sounds like your aunt is she's not about treating a disease. She's about curing it and getting rid of it. And that's the thing that I think anybody across the board can say about a doctor's office. They give you the medicine to help you deal with it, but not necessarily cure it. Yeah. So when you talk about diabetes, when you talk about different things, this is the medicine that helps control it, but not necessarily get rid of it. And so, and even just educating people it tends to be difficult because they're just saying the same thing, like you said, that they've been taught. This is what they're taught. And so if someone comes in and like, look, I really want to change, what's a go-to drink that you would say, or certain things that you would say, okay, start with this. This would be a good way for you to start.
Oh man. So all our drinks are pretty good. Even the ones that you look at what's in it, you say, they got to be horrible, right? Because I created them in a way that I think it's okay. And I'm a picky eater, right? So we got a couple different drinks that I would say our Iron Woman. Very healthy, lots of spinach, has a little peanut butter in it and things like that. But it has a lot of vitamins, protein, stuff like that as well. And it's good for you, you know. We have we also have one that's really light that kids may like, you know, that's just full of berries, you know, just berries is the name of it. And it's really good. It's sweet with a natural sweetness. You know, we don't do any sugar additives and things like that unless it's natural sugars.
Yes, sir.
Of that nature. So I would say, you know, all our drinks are really good and really healthy for you. But it depends on a person and what they can handle and can't handle. You know, some of our drinks have wheatgrass in it. Wheatgrass is very healthy for you. And a lot of people don't even know what it is, you know. But people say, I had one of those smoothies and I had to go to the washroom at 4 a.m. But that system has been so congested and unhealthy. When they finally do get something healthy, it's like an immediate effect, you know, and they're like, I'm coming back more often. Then there's people who just have a hard time using the restroom. And this is something I've never experienced, but a lot of people take weeks to use the washroom. I'm like, what? So we got natural things to make that happen. We got things for your blood pressure. I mean, you name it, we got it. But our smoothies are all really well. And,
man.
People love them. So,
yeah. So my last question on this for right now anyway. Something I tell my fighters, because I tend to have young fighters, and the females, they're good about eating whatever. But my male fighters, it's hard to get them to eat. I'm thinking of 2 right now. It's hard to get them to eat something green. And I'm like, look, if you're not eating something green, certain things aren't going to work as you get older. Now, so I'm basically asking you, is that a factual statement that I'm making here, that if you want your blood flow to work to certain regions of your body, Long term, should you be eating or drinking things that are green?
Well, I'll say this because certain things I can't say because I'm no doctor. Or, I can just tell you the benefits of it. And the benefits of eating healthy would definitely take you on a much longer path in life rather than a short, harsh path that's going to be a lot of issues of you going back and forth to the doctor. You know, eating healthy is necessary because our teeth structure is for eating plant-based. If you look at an animal, they have a whole lot of sharp teeth that they supposed to eat each other, and we're not animals to that degree, and we should know how to live and eat better than we choose to do, than I choose to do. But I'm getting better. I'm proud of myself.
I feel that.
So yeah.
Man, I can't wait to talk. I might bring them with me. Now that I'm thinking about it, because But okay. So that's just one business. And what's the name of that business?
Juicy Organics.
Juicy Organics.
Yeah, Juicy Organics is juicy-organics.com. Check us out.
Oh, I will make sure that's a part of this. And you make me want to go down there and get it. I'm not even joking. Like, my wife makes fun of me because I'll just take vegetables and just and put them together and then just drink it. And I don't care. It's like, I know it's good for me. Let me just I don't care how it tastes, but you're describing something that tastes good.
Yeah.
That's even better. That means I can sip on it. I don't have to just go whoop. I can enjoy that drink.
And sea moss, we have a lot of sea moss, different flavors, sea moss. I mean, we even got some vitamins for children. We got a lot of different stuff, you know.
Okay.
That's healthy for you. And there's some things.
So basically, come there and open your wallets. Be ready to get healthy, spend a little bit of money, get healthy. I'm with you. Yeah. I dig it.
Let me know when you go. I'm gonna go down there.
I mean, I might go.
Check us out.
I might go. I might have like 30 minutes to stop downtown.
Yeah, come on down.
Yeah. Okay. The one thing that I believe for anybody in Madison that follows you and that knows about you is the Black Man Coalition. What was the starting point for that for you?
Starting point?
Yeah.
When we started.
Yeah. Why? What was the why? I'm a big why person.
Oh man, it's a whole lot of whying. I would start off and say, I was at a point in my life where I didn't want to live the way I was living, which was a very reckless lifestyle. And I wanted to do something positive for the community. So I started seeing things on Facebook and I called a big meeting. And by the end of the meeting, everybody was hugging and teared up, you know. And I had one of my mentors, Michael Johnson, was like, Corey, you need to start a nonprofit. I'm like, man, I don't know nothing about no nonprofit. You know, he's like, I'm going to teach you. And let's do it. So he started teaching me things. To this day, I call him like, Mike, hey, what about this? You know, and, he's been good to me, you know, but a lot of people don't have that person in that corner that creates that value that makes you want to do well in life and respect it, right? But it also was the fact that I think about my past and I was a person who had 2 scholarships. Right. And the state took one of them from me because they didn't let me go because they just decided they didn't want me to, I wasn't going. And I became bitter and all of those stuff. But I wanted to create something that people who were experiencing the things that I once did to make their experience in life a little better before they had to go through all the negative things I went through. So that came in place with our employment preparation. Because I remember a time where I was like, I ain't working no job. I don't even know how to go get a job. You know, what is a resume, man? I don't know how to, what's that look like for me when I never worked before in my life,
Yes, sir.
So I wanted to create a space for that. I wanted to create a space to help people actually get employment at no less than $20 an hour, because right now, if you're making less than $20 an hour, if you're not at high school living with your parents still,
that's hard to live.
Man, how are you supposed to pay rent? And you got to get a space nowadays, you got to make 3 times the rent.
Yeah.
So, and then I started figuring out people were having issues with getting to work once they have the job. So we do transportation to and from work for up to a year. Wow. That's very important. That is, even if someone wants to do the best they can, they're ready, they're amped up, but I can't get to it. I can't get to it to do it. If the ball gets dropped, how do you expect someone to score?
Yeah.
And how do they win? It's winning season out here, and I want to help people get to that,
I feel that. Ooh.
And then we learned that people were having issues with getting better jobs besides entry level. So that's when we came with our collaboration with Cornell University. We give out 500 free certificates from Cornell, and we have over 25 different certificates you can take. It takes you about, 5 to 8 weeks, but that certificate, if you take one and say you're cleaning hotels, and then you get your hotel management certificate, well, now you can actually manage that hotel. And what does that do for your pay range? It takes it from here to there, or HR or project management, or, you name it, your real estate. We make it happen. It feel good,
man,
and it's been good. And that's what we're about. And then our youth baseball league, which is amazing. We got over 350 kids every year. This is our 4th year, and girls, boys, every race you can think of, has been amazing. We barbecue every Saturday in June and July. Free food, free uniforms, free everything.
Wow. When
I started it, people were like, you need to make the parents at least pay something so they can be invested. And I said, man, the parents can't afford it, and the kids shouldn't have to suffer because of that. So what we did is created a completely free youth baseball league, which is the only one in the country. There's not another youth baseball league that's totally free for everybody in it in the United States. So with that, we are trying to create examples of what other people can do in their cities. I love our baseball league because for me, when I wanted to play baseball, I had to stand on busy intersections with a can, running from car to car, being able to look people in the face and see if they're looking down for change or a dollar, or if it's going to be a waste of my time because the light's going to change soon. But I also got these guys selling bean pies on the side of me, Final Calls, who are amazing people. They treated us well, but they didn't have to, or homeless people, So we really had to learn a lot and how to adjust and how to understand and things like that. But that helped me with a lot of the work I'm doing today, but we couldn't do that in 2024, 2025. We can't have kids in intersections asking for money, right? Not in Dane County, you not. So we created a totally free youth baseball league. We have sponsorships. Each team, we get a sponsor at $5,000, and that covers everything for the team: bats, helmets, baseball hats, uniforms with their name on the back, because we want to be able to make them feel good about themselves, There's pants, there's socks, there's belt, everything, it's good stuff. So with that, it's been really good. It's been continuing, and it's been keeping a steady pace, which is pretty cool, because I don't know if we got any bigger what we would do, because it's only so many fields at the park. We want to build an indoor baseball facility so the kids can play year round, because some kids that play baseball don't want to play basketball.
Yeah, they don't want to.
They don't want to play. Yeah. They want to play baseball because it's a thinking sport. It's not that rough on you, and things like that. But it's also the most paying sport out of all the sports.
It does pay the most.
Yeah, so we want to keep our kids busy and keep getting that mentorship that we have to offer, and also create a way that our community have a way to give back. Which is what I'm doing right now, and it means a lot to me.
Man, that's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So I want to just dive into something that I guess I've been having conversations with people about quite often right now. So as an organization, you put a lot of faith, right, in a lot of other people and in the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you couldn't just lean on faith. You had to actually put some action in and make it happen. So how were you able to do something that's never been done before and make it last? You said 4 years now? You're going to fourth?
Yeah.
And I imagine every year has gotten a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if you're talking about an indoor baseball park, it's really, that means you're getting bigger.
Yeah.
So
it costs $9 million. So any donors, we looking for you.
Let's go. Let's go. How did you go from faith to making it happen every year and knowing it's going to happen? How did you go? Basically, I'm asking without divulging any crazy business secrets or anything like that. How were you able to make that role?
First of all, I say God has played a huge part of my success.
Mm-hmm.
But the community believed in me, you know. So that was powerful for me. You ain't gonna have me in here crying. So, but
there wasn't. I'll never try to do that.
But the community believed in me, and it motivated me. You know, when I was in the streets, I was a person who was up at 5 a.m. I didn't go to sleep till maybe 1 a.m. You know, and every now and then my body is shut down, and I sleep for half a day. You know, but I keep that same energy. Consistency is key. You know, understanding. I have so many old associates that's stuck in their ways. And I'm like, you know, you got to learn to adjust. You got to learn how to present yourself well. You have to change your speaking sometimes and get better at it, you know, and things of that nature. And they say, I'm me who I am. They should accept me for me. I say, yeah, you are who you are. You don't have to change your core. However, to get in certain rooms, you have to change your exterior sometimes, you know, and you have to present yourself well. And these things matter, you know, and I just would say overall, it was the engine that I have that you can't buy or teach. It's a natural thing. You know, I'm always ready to go. I had someone walk up on me the other day and they said, Corey, you're not worn out. And I was like, worn out? I'm like, for one, I enjoy stress. Stress. I love stress. I couldn't live without it. My whole life has been stressed. So I don't know what that looks like. And I don't know. I couldn't do it, you know. So for me, this is very relaxing. It's fulfilling to my heart. And I just really enjoy where I am. And every day I wake up motivated. I wake up happy. I wake up ready.
Yeah.
And every day now and then there's some turbulence, you know, and you just have to be understanding. You have to learn to be a little patient. And I'm still learning as I go, you know. I have to learn how to understand people and where they're coming from and why they think the way they do, and being able to adjust to that and meet them where they are has been very beneficial for me to be able to do so. And I think I'm pretty good at it, you know. Yeah.
That's super dope. So I'm about to be 45 in a couple weeks here. So we're in the same generation, right? We're in the same ballpark. So we would have went to high school together, right? Like we would have. And the one thing I try to explain to these young men, and you touched on it, it's not change. Don't change who you are. If I imagine when you were up at 5 a.m. and not going to bed at 1 a.m., was it always doing the things that were beneficial for you and the community during that time? Was it always
my past life?
Yeah.
I was horrible.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Let me just make it clear. I was Jack. Anybody who listening, you can change your life as well. I was horrible. I was a guy who I had a cycle. You know, my cycle, and everybody had their own cycle, right? And my cycle was I would get it, get rid of it really quick, go donate the money to the casino, and and somebody got to pay that tab, and I'm coming to get it. And that was just my mindset. And if you had it, I was coming. And and if you were a person in the streets, you were fair game. Now, if you was a regular person living a regular lifestyle, you
brother, can I shake your hand on that one? I try to explain that to people all the time.
Yeah, I never did bad things to good people. That was my rule, you know. But if you were a person who was in the streets, it's a different story. But I also was a person who always was good to addicts. I always talked to them about, why you doing this drug? You should get off of this. This ain't good for you. I was never a person who was driven by money. Money was natural for me. That they printed every day. You just got to get some.
Man, thank you.
You know, wasn't the part for me. My part was learning more about what exists in life, because all I knew was the box I was in, and that probably was a Chevy, riding around getting high and doing things I shouldn't have been doing.
Sir.
With something under my leg that I shouldn't have had, right? But now my horizon has been, I just know so much more. I could never be that person again. The knowledge I have, the support I have, the way, you know, the way my kids look at me.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You know, so these things are important. These things change men who have a good heart. You know, everybody don't have a good heart. I think most people do, but some people's heart has been so darkened, is unable
to see the light.
Yeah.
So the reason why I brought that up is because I try to explain to him that whatever discipline you had to go do the things that you did, those are great qualities if you use them to benefit society and benefit others, essentially. And so it's like, I did a lot of reckless things. I tell people, I've learned a lot of lessons in my life. I've done a lot of things that I would never recommend for someone else to do. And I tell people, I'm still a shark. I still smell blood in the water. I never not want to hunt. That's there. And that's there for life, because that's what I was raised with. I want to hunt. But now when you hunt to help build something, and when you hunt to help society, when you are trying to do all those things, and now it's for quote unquote good to help others, you're still you. But you have to learn to walk a little bit different in different rooms. You have to learn how to communicate with others. And I believe you said it best. Meet them where they're at. Now that could be taken so many different ways. But if you walk into one room, you have to be able to hold a conversation in said room. Otherwise, they're not going to let you in that room. You're not going to get the benefits from that room. Exactly. You speak of hunting. I remember I used to get phone calls back in my old lifestyle. They'd be like, man, what you doing? I'm hunting. And it wasn't. It wasn't the same thing they were hunting. No. It was different. But it's the same things at the time, you know. And, you know, people are very unique. Everybody's different, you know. But core values in most individuals is usually the same. You know, you want to be a good parent. You know, you want to be successful. You want to be able to be good to people. Yes, sir. You want to be respected, and, you know, these type of things. But what I learned is very important is to see yourself for who you are and be real with yourself. And then once you do that, you have to be vulnerable. And then after you're vulnerable, you begin to get, you begin to learn and get the gifts that God have to offer you, you know, but without discipline, there is no blessings. If you're not disciplined and you win a lottery and you're not disciplined, you overdose and you die the next day, right? So money isn't everything. I had someone tell me before, they said, Corey, when they ask me what I do for a living, Diane, who's amazing to me, she's helped change my life. She said, I tell them I change lives for a living. It ain't about the money, you know, and that's important. You know, and that's where I'm at in my life. You know,
I change lives for a living day to day. You know, financial literacy inside of Dane County Jail. You know, just for the sheriff to be able to accept someone like me with a past like mine, and I am where I am today, and I'm proven year to year who I am. You know, to be able to go inside and teach financial literacy to women, to men, that's going to come back into our community. People need to understand when someone's incarcerated, at some point, typically 80% of the people are going to come back to our community. And if they're going to come back to our community, we need to give them some tools on their belt they can use properly and get where they're trying to go and pay taxes and take care of their family and their kids and be a healthy part of our society.
That's so big. Everything you just talked about is so big because you don't know the light until it's shown to you sometimes. And it's like, you can know you have a good heart. You can know you have values, but until someone shows you the light and just constantly does it, even when you don't think you want it, or and most of the time when you believe you don't need it. And that's exactly what you're doing. I know it's basically why I do what I do. It's why I choose to mentor young men. It's why I choose to run a gym. It's like, if I thought about things that might make me a millionaire, running a gym is not, running the type of gym I run is not it. And so it's like, how can I best help other people with the things that I know? And it's because of men like you. So there's a man I grew up with that I call Pops. He wasn't my dad. We all call him Pops on the block. And there was a group of us, all brothers, and I didn't have my father. Like the man that was in my life was not a healthy man. And so Pops, you sound a lot like Pops to me. Like listening to everything you're talking about, listening to how you're willing to help. It's funny because baseball was his thing too.
Baseball,
like there were two men, and they're the only reason I even played baseball. I was all football, basketball, anything. I got into baseball because of them. And so it's like, and everything I got out of baseball was dope, especially when I use it with other sports. But listening to you talk about that, I want you to know, like, hopefully people are telling you this. It sounds like you are literally shining a light into darkness that these young men, young women maybe have never seen, because when you've described so much already in only 40 minutes, and I don't know if you realize this, you've talked about helping people eat differently, understand how they can improve their bodies, which will automatically improve their mind. There's enough out there on that now. You do something healthy with your body, your mind will change.
Yes.
You're talking about helping people get jobs, not just get jobs. I didn't know this. I didn't know you were helping people get to work.
Oh yeah.
Get back from work.
Yeah.
I didn't, like, this is my ignorance now, my lack of knowledge. I didn't know you help people get, and if I did know, it just didn't pop in my head. You're helping people not just get a job, get to and from, but then how they can excel within their company and make more money, which will automatically, like, first of all, if you get a certificate, something that you accomplished, something that took discipline to do, something that took the time to do, and now you see the actual cause and effect from such thing, meaning you get a better job, you get a raise. Now it's like, wait a minute, the things that I couldn't afford, I can now afford. I don't need your help with the car anymore. I was able to buy my own car. Now,
that's the best part.
Yeah, I don't even know. I can't speak on women, but I can speak on being a man. When you are able to buy your own car, when you're able to pay your bills, when you can look yourself in the mirror, all of a sudden it's like this. And now when your family can look at you differently, because now you're being the provider. You're able to do more. And so, and not even just adults, but helping these kids out with the baseball. Sir, do you know how much, like, has anyone told you the man? Like, you out here doing the thing. And like, it's a bigger deal because you had so much struggle getting here.
Yeah.
Brother, that's incredible.
Thank you, brother. We all
Like,
have our struggles, you know.
of course.
We all have our stories. It's what you do with it. You know, I rather took it positive and use it as a way to help others. God has protected me and created a path for me to do well for others, you know, and it's been humble, you know, and it's but at the same time, you got to have some cojones, you know. You got to have some cojones to stand up for yourself and to stand up for others, you know. When you're in a process of changing your life and you're trying to jump that gate and get on the other side, you know, you got to let your cojones hang because if you don't, your influences that you're used to in the past, people that's trying to redirect you and not let you go in the right spaces you should be in, people that's going to frown upon you sometime and hold on to hate from your past lifestyle, things of that nature, is something you personally have to stand up to. And then I was telling one of my friends, you know, I'm like, there was a time in my life where I'm going to curse, so I'm sorry, you guys. But I only thought with my dick, you know? And I had to tell somebody, like, it's bigger than your dick. It's bigger. It's so much more life and living and helpfulness and support, and just being able to bless others is a very powerful instrument, you know. And for me to have my fiance, Ashanti, in my life, who has really helped me become very disciplined, you know, because I don't need a bunch of friends now. I don't need a bunch of associates. You know, I'm with her 24/7. I can't wait to get out of here and get home or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
I feel you.
We are building something, and we're learning each other.
Yes, sir.
And we learn about situations. We're able to communicate about them and our mistakes. You know, I made a few mistakes along the way, and I was able to communicate with her about them instead of being some shiesty, never telling the truth type person, right? But that make us stronger, you know, and more understanding and things of that nature. But when you want to get to that other side of the fence, you have to jump that fence and not hide doing it. You have to get across it. Once you get to that other side of that fence, it's a beautiful thing, and the grass is greener. You know, the grass is greener on the other side of that fence from what you're used to. And that day-to-day lifestyle doesn't have to be it forever. You know, I know people my age who's still hustling in a negative way. I'm like, you can hustle in a positive way.
Yeah, like,
you got a skill set you don't even know you have, that you can bring into rooms and change things. And you could be the lion in a room, and you think you a sheep and you not. Well, I ain't used to that. I don't know nothing. I ain't know nothing about none of that either. But I tell you what, I let my kahunas hang, and I got to know about it. You know, you put me in any room right now, and I'm okay with it. I'm coming to say what I got to say, create what I come to create, leave my mark, and I'm getting on to the next thing I need to do, you know. And everybody is capable of it. If I can do it, and I know I was horrible when I had a detective, his only job 8 hours a day was to follow me around, you know, and I didn't learn about that until later in life, you know. I'm like, whoa, you know, but everybody can truly do better in life if they choose to. But you have to make the choice. It's no different than a person with an addiction. It all comes down to that individual wanting to do something different in life. And once that individual truly chooses that they want more, they'll have more, you know. And you have to build a support team around you. You have to have people who want to see you win. You have to be able to identify the people that really don't want to see you win and get them out your circle. You know, I have people I may not talk to every day, but when I call them, they got all the knowledge in the world for me and all the information I need, and they're willing to share it, and they call me out on my stuff. Like, Corey,
that's important.
Yeah, be careful with I may make a post sometime. They're like, Corey, you better than that now. You know, I was like, let me take it down.
Yeah,
right now. You know. And being humble, right? My team, without my team, we couldn't do a lot of the work we're doing. You know, we're a $2.4 million budget a year, you know, as a nonprofit. And I ain't never had a chance to talk about no millions till I got in this world. Yeah.
Pause on that. Wait a minute. because you just mentioned something that, as a person that's a dream in the nonprofit sector. How did you get there?
That's a good one. You know what? Again, God. But I would say we earned it step by step, you know, from speaking when you should and shutting up when you should, you know, and being humble enough to learn and creating relationships. I would say the number one thing on this earth is building relationships. You know, when I read the Bible, the Quran, or You Can Live Forever in Paradise with Jehovah's Witness, or the Circle 7 with Noble Drew Ali, or any of that information I read, right? At the end of the day, you have to be a person who wants the information. You have to be a person who wants whatever it is that's offering, right? And I was going somewhere with that, but I kind of had to it slipped me what I wanted to say. But I don't know. I think life has its ways making you who you are, and it's up to you to accept who you have become and build on that. And it's just...
I think the question I was really going for here, and let me rephrase it so I can communicate it better. I see a lot of nonprofits, or I see a lot of businesses fail because their business structure isn't being ran like a business.
That's where I was going with it.
So I even with my own business, it took me a minute, because when I started my business, when I bought my business, I had no idea about running a gym. I was paying all my bills with music. Like, I was successfully in music business. I was running that correctly, but I didn't know anything about running a gym. I didn't know how to do the books on this. I didn't know about this, and this, and this. And it took me a while to get to this point. And it's funny. I was going to mention this, man. What would we do as men without these beautiful, great women that come along in our lives?
The women is killing it right now. Hey, men, y'all better step it up, because listen here, the women, especially our sisters, they is killing it. I mean, we had so many women who've come through our program and just winning. You know, they never look back.
Man.
You know, and don't get me wrong, we got some amazing men as well that's went through it, but they are...
Yeah, that's what I mean. When you mention your fiance, when I think about my wife, I know Corey's talked about it. Like, when you have to raise your bar, because when I had Michael Johnson here, he talked about his wife, and so it's like it's a beautiful thing from a business structure.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to like understand it? And were there any major changes, major lessons you learned that you can pass on to other business owners?
Yeah, so many lessons. You asked the question. I feel like I didn't fully answer about that. How do we get to that point? I think by doing the work. You know, we started off with, and then I'm gonna have you ask me this question again, but I want to touch on that. I feel like doing the work, you know, and it's one step, but we didn't just start off with all our programs, you know, and you always hear people say, trust the process. Man, you have to trust the process, you know, because your process is for you if you grab it, you know, and we started off with baseball. Then we started off helping Little John's Kitchens because they didn't have any drivers. And when I went over there, I didn't have any business or anything written down or how we would get people drive. We didn't have none of that. So when I went over there, I'm like, well, what do you pay your drivers? And they said a number I didn't agree with. And my response was, you're going to have to pay them at least $20 an hour. I don't know where that came from. I know.
God.
It came right out of my mouth. And he looked at me and Dave said, you got a lot of balls to just come here and say that. I said, well, I'm speaking for the people. No one's paid me to shut up, and when they try to do it, probably won't happen. They have to get rid of me, but I'm all about the people. I'm a person who started that, and then I started getting calls. I got them 10 drivers that day. So from that, my phone started ringing. I need a job. I need a job. I need a job. And I'm like, man, we need to figure this out. So we started by actually just getting people jobs. And then people start working one day and quitting. They're in the washroom on the stall on a cell phone, getting caught. I said, we got to make a legitimate process for individuals to know that they actually want the job. And we started our 4-day process with our preparation to employment. Right. And then through those 4 days, we teach so much stuff. We even role play, but during that process, we can tell when people are really serious and really want it, and then we can connect them with a job. But yeah, as far as all the things was one step at a time, then the baseball, then we actually got an office space. We started with Rivers Food Pantry because I created a bond with them in the Boys and Girls Club. And when I created that bond, they donated me a Econo van. At the time, I didn't even have a car. I was when I got out the streets, I was broke as hell, and every business I ever started, when I started, I was broke, every time. And I started going, they gave me that Econo van, and I'm like, why isn't it people look like me in this line? I see a lot of people that don't look like me, that got nice cars, I said, I'm gonna go to the community and find the people. They said, well, how you gonna do that, Corey? Well, I'm from that community, and I was good to people. The people that I wasn't good to, they either knew they had it coming or I didn't know them. But the people that knew me and I knew, I was truly good to, And through that, we started taking a week's worth of groceries to 20 families a week. That me and Ashi, just me and my partner, ourselves, we have food falling on our head while we driving, And it went from that to 80 families a week, that we took groceries to. And then I believe they have continued to program something like that, which is amazing, and then someone kept getting in my ear and saying, Corey, you are a Black Man Coalition Foundation. And they kept saying it over and over. And I'm like, let me invest a little more into me and what I want to do. And then I started really digging into Black Man Coalition and what it could become and why it exists and why hold the name when other people say, hey, you thought about changing your name? No. Not going to change it because I want to be bold. I want to show that Black men are more than just jail bait when we have the highest incarceration rate in the per capita in the country and things of that nature. I want to show that we do care about our community. I want to show that we care about everybody and bring everybody together. So, yeah. So ask me that other question. My memory is horrible.
To be honest, it sounded like you basically gave the keys to it. When you started this, you had a vision. For one thing, you invested time into that. You invested your resources into that. You made connections into that. From there, you were able to build additional programming into other things that you wanted to do, invest time into that, invest resources into that, make more connections. Am I sort of hitting it on the head here?
Yeah.
But you invested the time in, okay. So that's from a business structure. Most of the time when I look at things failing, that's what I'm seeing is like it's too sporadic. It's too all over. It's not focused enough. So what is one, it doesn't matter how many you name right now, but if there's at least one thing you can think of that could help somebody who wants to start a business, start a nonprofit or do something, what's something that you could, a tip or something that you can give them or something even to avoid that it's like, people don't realize like we do things, but 99.9% of the time, we're not original with it. We'll take an idea and make it unique to ourselves. But there's so many different blueprints you can just look and learn from. Yeah. What's something
I've never, what's weird about me? Someone told me, they're like, Corey, you always been a leader. You just was leading in the wrong way. State of Wisconsin sent me to Tennessee. I ran a whole prison for everybody. I don't care what gang it was, because I monopolized the prison to the point where the warden was like, Corey, you do what you want. Don't let no riots jump off. You know, I would say just do it. Get involved. Be okay with going into those rooms the first time and you can't stop sweating. Be okay with being embarrassed. And keep it silent. That's all I can say. I don't know.
No, that's big.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah, grow as you go. Be okay with being not the smartest person in the room. You know, I want my team to be smarter than me.
Oh,
I don't want no team that's not smarter than me unless I'm just on a kick, which I'm doing right now. I take people who I know was probably living an unhealthy lifestyle, and I say, hey, I'm going to give you a job. I'm going to train you. I'm going to mentor you. I'm going to pay you a nice salary. But that lifestyle got to be all the way over. And the minute I smell that you're still involved in that, I'm done with you. Because what you're not going to do is embarrass me when I'm putting trust and faith in you. I'm trying to pour into you. You know, don't spill the cup. You know, but just do it. You just have to get involved. You have to be okay with being uncomfortable. You know, uncomfortable creates growth. You know, confrontation creates growth.
Yes,
you
sir.
know, all the things we try to veer away from are the things I go head on now.
Yep.
It's like, what? Well, I'm in there, you know. Yeah.
That takes the one thing that, man, you would be a great speaker.
Kick the door in. The right door.
I love that.
Kick the door in.
I love that.
Kick it off the hinges.
Kick in the door.
Kick the door in, you know, and just the benefits from it, the stress level, like this work, man, listen here, I ain't got I love it. You know, I love getting up, doing what I do. I'm up at 5 o'clock. I'm returning emails. By 6 o'clock, I'm cooking. By 7 o'clock, I'm serving addicts at the addiction clinic. By 8 o'clock, I'm trying to rush down to my juice bar, my business, and get things in order. You know, by 9 o'clock, I'm on a team meeting. By 10 o'clock, my day begins with all my meetings and things like that. And then when I get off work, I'll probably have a dinner date with somebody, and me and my partner are going to meet them to talk about business and things like that. Then we get home. We'll sit down next to each other on our laptop, and then we'll be like, enough. We'll put a show on, or we'll work on something together. We talk about stuff, and our day in at about 11 at night. You know, I'm back at it.
What you're describing right now is, you said it already, is being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because what vulnerability does is our ego can't live in that space.
It can't. It's no good.
Yeah, our ego cannot survive. We can't be emotionally attached so much because our ego isn't involved as much. Like, it's great to be passionate about it. It's great to be emotional about things, but if you can't make the turns and pivot and see where things are going and make those moves in business, your ego is too involved. And like what you're describing, you described it with your fiance. I'm listening to you describe it in business. I'm listening to you describe it in every aspect of your life. Being vulnerable and like going towards stress, being uncomfortable, it's causing the right kind of pain. Because no matter what, we're going to have pain. Imagine if we're sitting at home, like, and you're already talking about eating healthy. You're talking about doing those things. And like, I'm a big dude. I train I'm in my gym training 7 days a week. So I'm working. So I understand it. If I sat on the couch if I sit down on the couch, watching TV, eating whatever I want for 7 days in that week, I'm gonna have pain. But that's not pain I want. If I have a life that doesn't have any kind of stress in it, I'm gonna deal with pain in another way. It's gonna be a mental torture. What you're describing right now is what's needed in our society. It's like No, you want discomfort. You want pain. You want to be uncomfortable. You want to be vulnerable. You want to be able to have all these things. It's scary, but we come out. That's where we grow. That's where we become better individuals. And as men, yes, as men, we get better.
Yes,
we can now provide, protect, do all the things that we're supposed to do as men and become better. And what's funny is that we show our teeth less than, but we're more dangerous men then.
Yeah, stay dangerous.
Yeah, because we can not only give you a look, we can not only ball up our fist, but now we can communicate with you.
Yeah,
you can't be. We're not just physically strong. Our intellect now can handle any situation. We can now emotionally navigate anything. So you can't pull us out of our comfort zone because. And this is a nice plug into the next question I'm going to ask.
Mm-hmm.
The moment we allow ourselves to get emotional over what someone else said or did to us, we are not in control of ourselves. They are now in control of us because we allowed them to dictate us based on our ego, our pride, and everything else. And I'm not saying as a man not to have pride. What I'm saying is that your ego shouldn't be leading the way so much that that someone else can pull your card essentially and pull you off. If I'm gonna speak just in general, pull you off your square where you're not the king anymore, sitting on your crown. So what moment, granted, I understand there were probably multiple moments, but the one that you know for a fact that did the job, that like, yep, this was it, where you were like, I have to be in control of me. I am now controlling my machine. I am now controlling my mind. I'm not going to let anything swerve me off this path. This is where I'm walking. This is what I'm doing. When did you learn how to control you?
When I used to teach at AODA treatment facility for 80 individuals, 24-hour programming. And I always used to say you can't control your life, but you can manage it. You know, and for me, I really knew when I had to, when I didn't have any false pride. Yeah. Because I got people who would tell you I would never cry. Because all they seen was the toughness in me, rough Corey, whatever name they want to label me as, you know. But for me, I get teared up over joyful things. I get teared up over those steps in my life. I rose. When I see somebody I mistreated, and they're like, I'm proud of you.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
But when you get rid of that false pride, you become pure. When you become pure, you start remembering the things your grandma taught you.
Oh.
And you become something that's untouchable mentally. And God make you untouchable physically. No. You become a blessing. That's what I am.
Yes, sir, you are. Yes, sir, you are. That's huge right there, man. Like, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything that you're doing, man. Like, you're changing lives every day. And that is so huge and so needed in our community and just needed in general for humans.
Yeah.
It's just more people to care about others and do for others and want to share and help others and put that first. And so people understand when I look you in your eye and I see you becoming emotional, and like I'm hearing it, people think that makes them weak. And to me, that just makes you that much stronger, because I never seen the hunter leave the eyes. Like it's still there.
Eye of the tiger.
Yeah, it's still there. It's like, I tell people, like, though hunters can see other hunters, like I see it. It never went away. It's just like, I also see the light. Better yet, you know what? I won't even call it the hunter. What I'll say is I can see the darkness in other people, because I know the darkness that lies within me. Yeah. And what's beautiful is that it's not that the darkness goes away. We just choose to see the light. Yeah. We choose to live in that light. Like my kids make fun of me, man. If my son brings home an A, like I'll shed a tear. Like, you don't understand how big that is. Like, man, when they tell me they did something, like, I'm like, when my daughter started her own business, I was like tears are coming down, because I'm like,
you did that.
You're 21 and you did it. It took me so long to understand how to do this legally. And you, like, it's so powerful to see the light. And it's like,
it's a beautiful blessing.
Man, it's
nice. And
seeing you do the thing, man, this is amazing, man. Like,
even when you do it, not to cut you off, but even when you do it, I have a person who's amazing to me. And she said, Corey, don't let them dim your light. And, even when you're doing it and you're on top of whatever you think you are, you have to stay disciplined to continue. Or it'll come to an abrupt ending before you know it, you know, and you have to be humble. And even for me, some of the things I had to learn was I had to truly learn how to treat people. I had to learn how to treat my team. I'm still learning because I'm rough. Yeah. When I want you to get it done, don't drop the ball. Yeah. I got a problem with that, you know. But I also had to learn how to communicate what I wanted in a professional way, you know, and all that was a process, you know. But I had a team that was strong enough to understand and know I was a work in progress. You know, my team today, they get me, you know, and sometimes we bump heads, and I told them, you know, confrontation is key, you know, and say what you want to say, and say it respectfully, you know, and I'll do the same. But we get stuff done because we're pushing at each other and we're going at it and we making these accomplishments. And they're like, how'd you get a collaboration with Cornell? I called them. And you know what I did? They said, Corey, tell us about you. I was a crook. Ain't no sugarcoat nothing who I was, but I tell you who I am today as well. I'm a person who making a difference. I'm a person who enjoy being there for others. I'm a person who has value, who I get at least 2 to 3 calls a day of someone saying, man, you make us all feel like we can do it. To know somebody who is really in the streets like us and worse than us and be doing what you're doing, I'm like, I could dig it. You know, it's a good feeling, you know. So every step of the way has been another piece of armor on me as I continue. You know, and as you said, I like the hunter word, because you have to stay hunting. You know, you need to put that armor on you to protect yourself, you know, especially as a Black man. You know, I'm proud to be a Black man. You know, it means the world to me. I'm proud of my last name. You know, you Google my last name, it's going to say Caretakers for Mother Mary. You know, I am my family, my kids, my fiance, the people at the addiction clinic, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Trust the process. Do the work. Stay disciplined. And love the people. All sisters and brothers.
Man, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing, sir.
Yeah.
Brother, you doing it, man. Like, it's, I don't have any other words other than you're absolutely amazing. And thank you for coming on here. Thank you for sharing. And we'll make sure that we, like, all the websites are out, man, because what you're doing is so big, and I didn't know you were into so much stuff. When I reached out, I knew about a few things. This is incredible, man. Like, you are absolutely incredible. And it's,
you should see what we're trying to do for the future of BMC. You know,
well, if you can share, by all means share.
yeah,
but I assume most people can't share.
I'm an open book.
Oh,
I ain't got nothing to hide. I'm sharing everything. If you do it before me, get it. You know.
Okay.
So bmcdc.org. We are in process right now. We have a big meeting on the 20th that we're trying to put our Cornell program in the whole Department of Corrections prison system and offer free certificates to everybody incarcerated, men and women. But what that does is help us build those relationships prior to people getting released to our community. Then we can help them get housing, employment, and things of that transportation before they're even released, so they have a plan. They don't have to go back to Joe Smo, who just want to say, hey, I got this for you. They got it. They're situated. They're coming into our community with tools in their belt, and they're ready to use them. We're also looking right now, if you're on a bracelet, you can go to a food pantry or somewhere, other nonprofits as well, and you can volunteer. I was a person who once did it. And when I was doing it, I bought one of them cans of hairspray. I had a cell phone in it, shoot a bottle in the washroom. You know, I couldn't wait to get to work to volunteer. But I was jacked up at the time. I was in survival mode. But what we're trying to do is, if you volunteer for 8 hours, you get a day off your sentence. So we're doing a change in law right now, which is going to be rough. Because of things happening in the world. But what we want to be able to do is, you come to our space on the Capitol at 1 North Pinckney. We have laptops, headphones, computer desks, hire educators. And you come to our space and you spend 8 hours getting educated. You get a day off your sentence. That's something we're looking to do as well. But we're also looking to do our housing. Right now we're raising $30 million. Because the way low-income housing right now is happening is not very beneficial to the people. And what I say about that is, once you put people in a state of mind where they're stuck, two, if they do decide they want to grow and do better, they are pretty much making too much money to live there anymore, right? But we want to create a space where your nephew who's sleeping in your basement can have a place to live, or people sleeping in their car but going to work every day have a place to live. People who are incarcerated getting released to our community have a place to live. People who have turned 18 and aged out of a juvenile facility have somewhere to live, or just an individual who graduated college in another state, got a job here, and can't afford our housing market, right? We want to create an atmosphere of individuals where they go from individual housing to one-bedroom housing, and the rent is really cheap, right? So you got $750 rent and $950 rent. No, $750 and $650 rent, right? You can live up to 3 years. In 3 years, we're going to work on your child support issues. We're going to work on rebuilding your relationship with your family or your kids. We're going to work on your credit score. We're going to make sure you got 2 years of taxes did. We're going to make sure you got that job for over 20 an hour. We're going to transport you to and from work, even if you have a vehicle, right? We're going to make sure that we have the programs necessary and the case managers for you in case you do need a little extra, help or whatever it may be, or support. We want to be able to get you in a position where after 2 to 3 years in our space, you can be a homeowner in Dane County. This is what we want to create. This is what we will create. And this is what we need the support of our community to create. This is going to be life-changing for a lot of individuals. It's going to lower our recidivism rate, people who get out and go back to prison within 3 months. It's going to lower our crime rate. It's going to change some things, which lessens the security for a lot of people jobs, but it's going to change a lot of things. And I just feel like it's time, and it's needed. And we're also doing a $10 million endowment to secure success with our housing, because we're not thinking about a bunch of dollars. We're thinking about the people. So we're not charging a lot for rent. People say, well, how do you survive at that cost? They could too, but they just about $1, you know? So this housing is truly necessary. We are looking to do that and have it done in 2026, 2027. One of those years it should be up and going. And then we're also creating a series right now, which is about a lot of the stuff we're talking about and our process of doing so and so on. So we got a lot of irons in the fire.
Yeah, I see.
And, we ultimately want to put BMCF in multiple cities all over the United States, where we can offer our free baseball league. We can offer our financial literacy. We can offer our employment. We can offer our transportation. We can offer our housing. We can offer all the things necessary to help people who are truly in the state that I once was in win, you know? And that's what it's about. And that's what BMCF is about.
Man, you let me know when you're ready to move from baseball into some MMA and kickboxing stuff, man. Like,
I looked that up,
man.
So they got in Las Vegas, they got youth MMA, and I talked to them too. I didn't know that.
So they have in Milwaukee. What they do is they just eliminate for MMA. They eliminate all headshots.
Yeah.
You can only go to the body. You can only kick, and then you can do takedowns and different submissions.
Yeah.
So they have that in Milwaukee. There's nothing like that in Madison. And I'm moving into a bigger facility, and that is something I want to do, because the mentorship program I have, I work with Grow Academy, and work with those young men, and they learn wrestling, they learn boxing, they learn kickboxing, and they're learning Brazilian jiu-jitsu right now.
And they're learning discipline.
Yes, but I only get them a couple times a week, and I only have them for, somewhere between 3 months to 6 months, depending how long they're. I don't get my hands on them like more, and I want to, because that's where the discipline really takes into effect. But I know it's helping. Like, Corey actually coaches one of the kids that was he was a great boxer.
Yeah.
And knowing he's doing well in school now, and knowing he's playing ball for Corey over there, like I was super excited to hear about that. So we should definitely talk more about that.
Let's
because
do it.
I'm starting to really walk deep into that realm where you're already established and where you're already at. And I
love it.
I'm ready to walk deeper into that. And I have the same mind frame. It doesn't upset my wife. My wife just sort of gives me looks sometimes, because I'm like, I'd rather do it. I'd rather have kids come in here and not pay anything.
Yeah.
Than for them to be where they could be. And I'm right. And I'm right on off Fish Hatchery. So I know that Leopold area, I know what can, and it's I'd rather get them in here than being somewhere doing something that
God gonna bless you regardless.
So
you're gonna get your blessings.
It's not worried about it. I'm not worried about the financial end. So it's let's talk.
So what are the two things I want to jump into as far as sports? And I just had a big meeting with MMSD and the juvenile facility and things we're looking to do for our mentoring our youth as well. I also am looking into hockey. A lot of our youth can't afford to play hockey because the equipment is so expensive.
Yeah.
So what I'm looking to do is create a way that they can get into hockey, get the training, and get the process going where they start to learn it and do well in it, and they can continue.
You know what's going to happen?
What's that?
Think about what it takes to actually do hockey from a physical aspect.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to move fast. You have to be agile. You have to be strong.
Yeah.
What we do with basketball? What we do with football?
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna tell you something about that. You know something?
We gonna take over that too.
As I heard someone once say, we have a DNA makeup that's special, right? But that's not saying other kids not special. So even when we do our hockey, We want to have Spanish kids, white kids, black kids, mixed kids. We want to be able to offer it for everybody, because everybody don't have the opportunity to be able to afford what it takes to get into it.
Yeah.
And it's really about creating a way for our youth to get into things that's going to keep them occupied and mentally invested.
Yes, sir.
And be able to help them get the things that a lot of them are not getting at home, because the mother has to work 2 jobs. The dad is incarcerated. Things like this really hinders a child from getting where they're trying to go. And we want to be able to create ways that they can get there. You know, I had parents call on baseball. You know, we'll pick the kids up and bring them to baseball. And they're like, Corey, I usually come and I just need some help this week. You know, we get you. You know, that's what it's about. Man. You know, and the parents come out to baseball and shouting another kid name they never knew before. Parents becoming friends, kids becoming friends. And we're not just stuck on one side of town. We're working with kids all over Dane County. And it's becoming like a fraternity, so to say, you know, and these kids are going to know each other for years to come, especially when they've been playing together and around each other for 4 years straight. And that continues.
But that's how we grew up, though. Yeah. Like, it's something that I know me and my brothers, we talk about all the time. It's like, if I messed up over here, Pops may be chewing me out or saying something, because it's like, we're all on the same block. So and it's the community, it's the village that helps raise everybody. So what you're creating a village.
I'm trying my best.
Man, brother, that's, man.
I feel good about it when we're in 15 different states.
Ooh.
And we are actually operating at a high level and impactful. And I think then I'll be ready to go my separate way and see that continue. I think is will be a fulfiller for me in life.
Yes, sir. Well, if you get hockey going in Dane County, one of my fighters played hockey all through high school. He swears by it. And he graduated from UW-Madison. So it's like, he'll just come help, because that's how much he loves hockey. He'll just come do it.
Well,
so
I need to know him, because he know a lot more about it than I do.
Yeah. So I said, like, you let me know when you're ready, because I don't think anywhere in Madison they have hockey. I know in some Prairie they have hockey.
Middleton, they got them a few places.
Okay, so Middleton, okay.
Madison too, over there, all 4 of them. They have like a few places. We just don't know. We're not involved. You know?
I just knew about some Prairie. I didn't. Yeah. I should have assumed Middleton. I should have known that. Yeah. But that's awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming out here, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you
very much, brother. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being vulnerable, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything that you're doing, man. It's such a blessing.
Yeah. So thank you, brother.
We'll let you get back to that life, man. You doing the thing. You control you, baby. We out. Peace.
Shit, I'm about to go wait in this place when you dropping the bass in. The beat inside the streets of awaken. I'm making to break my foot off of somebody's ass. I'm waiting for someone to say my name so I can annihilate them. Okay, then everyone was screaming the rape when I was kicking at the gate till it caved in. Belly scraping by, but now I'm paid. Look at the paper I raked and I'm caking like Jay-Z and Drake. And I hate when people say that I ain't killing shit. The game is my playpen. I punch you in the face and end up breaking your break bands. I'm far from Hollywood. I'm posted up at the days in. Even though the industry say I'm the latest sensation. Drop the stuff at the board show. They're coming complacent. Mama saw me on TV with just a bum in the basement. You would catch me save a whole year. I think your baby mama in the